We put our feelings on the back burner so much for other people's benefit or for other people's sanity and stuff like that. But it's like, you gotta remember your own. You gotta check your own sanity, your own peace of mind and stuff. So
you have a responsibility
to choose you.
What up, y'all? Josh and EC here once again with another quality video.
And as promised, we are bringing you guys another Therapy Thursday. You guys loved it so much, so we were like, all right, we'll bring it back every once in a while. We decided to go back with the previous submissions.
Yeah.
There was a lot. Like, there was no need to ask you guys to resubmit some stuff. So we went back to those, and we're gonna go ahead and knock some more of those out today.
As always, big disclaimer, we are not licensed therapists at all.
No.
So if you are in a relationship with someone that you feel like is going to be long-term and you guys have some serious issues that you need to work on, go seek real therapy. We are just giving out friendly advice
Based off our personal experiences in our relationship.
So without being too long-winded, let's go ahead and get into this video. Okay, Therapy Thursday. Hi guys. I entered a relationship a bit too quickly with a man who I had been friends with for years, and I'm feeling conflicted. This relationship thing began in January of this year, so it hasn't been too long. The man treats me like a queen. He can communicate, he's emotionally intelligent, he can apologize, he recognizes his own mistakes, doesn't lash out or get defensive at things. However,
I was gonna say, where's the button?
yeah, I know, because right now it sounds like
button?
real good. However, he doesn't have his life in order. We are both early 20s. He doesn't have any idea of where his life is going with a career and education, and doesn't have his financials in order. I'm getting my bachelor's this year, starting a master's in September, and have a clear-cut path in mind. I don't have an issue with him not knowing what or where he wants to go in life, but he's not taking any appropriate steps to find out. He's not taking any appropriate steps to find out either. Frankly, I've just been finding myself not being as attracted to him, much because the thing that he is most serious about in his life is our newborn relationship, which, if I'm thinking, just started in January, rather than the things in his own life. What do you guys think I should do? Am I being too harsh in my thinking? I don't feel like it's a good idea to provide an ultimatum, but also I have enough self-love and respect to not just stay with someone who I'm going to outgrow.
Honestly, first of all, can we give this woman a round of applause for the emotional intelligence?
On 10.
Wow.
If I could pancake you through the...
Shut up, Josh. Wow, okay, that was a lot. But she painted the picture really clear.
That picture.
So, it sounds interesting to something we kind of went through. I don't know if you want to start.
So, in our relationship, I think I pretty much checked off all those boxes for you too. I know how to apologize, I was good. For those who don't know, fresh out of college, I ended up actually like falling flat on my face. I was homeless, I lived in my car for a couple months. It was pretty bad. I had no clue where I wanted to go in life, and I really didn't have that much direction. The only thing that differs from our story and her story is that I was at least trying.
You didn't lack ambition.
I didn't lack in the ambition.
You more so wanted to sprint before you crawled and walked type stuff, but you never lacked like just bumming it out.
Yeah, the ambition. Like I never just sat back on it like, oh no, I'm good, I'm gonna just let it go on. But I think in that specific case, I mean, if you guys are like 20 years old on the dot, I do not
Well, she said early 20s.
Early 20s. Okay. I still don't really expect you guys to have it all figured out.
Yeah. What she said though, she doesn't expect him to. I think she's looking for some type of initiative. Like, let me see something. I guess we can share like kind of what. Do you feel like I gave you an ultimatum?
Even in my ambitious point, she basically told me like, yo, I see that you have a lot of ambition. I see that. But I wasn't taking the proper steps, and it didn't look like, it almost looked like I was going in a circle. I would talk big stuff about a big plan that I have, and then I would go do something else. And then I'd come back with another plan, and then I'd go do something else. And she eventually like sat me down. This was about a year in. Actually, no, we were dating for a while, but this is like a year into the homeless phase, whatever. She basically sat me down and was like, look, I got all my ducks in a row. I plan on continuing to have my ducks in a row.
Similar to her.
Yes.
I think I had a plan for my life. Like I had a certain type of lifestyle that I wanted to live. I knew what I was trying to attain for myself.
And she basically explained that she was looking for the same things out of me. Or she was just looking for a partner in general that was equally yoked. And it was okay if that's where I wanted to be. If like, it was okay if this is the kind of like position you want to be in life, that is perfectly fine. But that's not what she wanted.
For myself.
For yourself.
Yep.
And so then she was like, it wasn't like an ultimatum. It was basically like, I'm still in this, but I'm gonna give it about a year.
Yeah, I think specifically I was like, this time next year, if I don't see like any improvement, and it didn't even mean like all of a sudden you're making 6 figures or anything. Just let me see that you have some type of stability that you're creating for yourself. Yeah, a plan.
Like, let me see you have a plan.
Yeah.
The plan doesn't have to be completed. The plan doesn't have to be like all the way thought through, but like I need to see like steps.
Effort.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Like show me a 5-year plan. Something like what's going on. And basically it was like, either show me that plan or we go separate ways. And there was no hard feelings in that conversation. Although there was a little bit of tenseness because, you know, it's a serious conversation. It's obviously difficult to say like, I'm giving you a year.
And I was gonna say too, like when I had that conversation with you, we've talked about it before, you could tell like I was being serious. Like a lot of us girls, I think sometimes tend to threaten or with the ultimatum type of thing. But when that time rolls around, it's like, oh, I guess I'll give him another chance or whatever. Like I was really about that life. So that's one thing, like if you do decide to do something like that, or if anybody else is watching that has a similar situation going on, just know. And I like what she said about having enough self-love and respect for herself to know that she deserves better and wants more out of life.
Or she knows that she'll outgrow him.
Yeah, she knows she'll outgrow him. So just be a woman of your word, basically, is what I'm saying with that. Like, don't say you're gonna do all this rah-rah stuff and big talk, and then it comes around, nothing has changed, because it'll be the same cycle. Like, he'll keep calling you bluff. Nobody has time for that. So
don't have time for that.
To answer your question, though, I think your thinking is harsh? Absolutely not. Because I also feel like the early 20s, like, yes, you're still young and youthful, but you're still also around that age where you might potentially be trying to seek out your partner for a lifetime, like longevity. So it's not asking for too much to see from a partner that you potentially could be like your life partner, asking for them to show up. Like, where's that energy at?
And like, you're not supposed to have it all figured out in your 20s, but at the same time, your 20s kind of sets the trajectory of the rest of your life.
Absolutely. It demands adulting. Like, you have to adult.
You have to learn how to adult. You have to learn how to pick yourself up by the bootstraps. You're paying bills. Bills never were a thing before, you know, you went to college and all that. And now there's bills coming in. You want to eat. You want to move around. You have to do adult life. So yes, you should be looking for somebody that's trying to adult properly with you. Otherwise, you're just going to be dragging them along.
And outgrowing them.
Yeah, so
that's a tough one. I think that ultimately it does have to happen. You have to have a conversation, like maybe the similar conversation to what I had with Josh when he was just mentioning a year out of college, basically. Like, that is something that needs to kind of like set the tone and where your guys' relationship is going. Either it's going together on this path or separately on this path, but that's something that is gonna have to be discussed.
Yeah, or you could even like work out a plan with him. Like, let's sit down. Let's talk about like, what do you like?
I agree, but don't agree. Because I think that people should be able to do that on their own. Like, he can't be that reliant on her.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Because if she wasn't around, then what was he gonna do? Because that's what I was kind of looking from you at that time. Just like,
do you feel like you were trying to see my true self?
Not necessarily your true self, but your manly independence, just on your own. Like, I don't think that I or anybody should have to map that out for you. And I think that kind of, it might be an interesting eat and chill topic to talk about. Yeah, you don't, like, not really, no.
Not really. Like, you're not my mama.
Yeah, I don't want to be blunt with it, but yeah, like, it's not fair to put that on women because I think, like, what I was mentioning about the eat and chill topic, it might be a good one to do just on, like, kind of what society expects and demands from women in terms of, like, we're taught at a young age how to, like, clean and wash clothes and, like, stuff like that, but then boys come to college and have no idea how to do that type of stuff. Or even like having to map out our future, and like a lot of parents are obviously raising their daughters to learn how to be independent and not be so codependent on a man. Like, just stuff like that, we had to learn for ourselves, yet it's almost expected for us to learn that for ourselves and also teach our partners. I don't think anything's wrong with having to teach your partner sometimes, as long as it's an equal thing. Like, I've taught you stuff, you've taught me stuff, so we both have like grown from this relationship in different ways and helped each other grow. But just in terms of that, I don't think it's like, it's a difficult one. That's a difficult one. But I don't think that she should have to raise him. I don't think she should have to map and plan things out for him. No. He's a grown man.
Women shouldn't have to raise their men.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would be called boys.
And that's kind of what she's dealing with right now. If he's not somebody who's on top of his stuff and doesn't, like, isn't planning out his future whatsoever, that's boyish tendencies. And good for you, sis, on everything that you're doing. Definitely continue to strive forward in your life, regardless of what's going on with your relationship and stuff. I recently started dating a friend I've liked for about 6 years. I wasn't sure if he liked me back, and we had this on and off friendship over the years. We became good friends over the pandemic, chatting frequently. In parentheses, this was after he found out I liked him. Long story short, we started dating about 2 months ago. All of these things happened online since distance was kind of a barrier. My issue now is we're both introverts, so we sometimes have problems communicating and all. Oh, in parentheses, I believe he's more introverted than I am. I've mentioned it several times and he always dismissed it. I know that's because he doesn't want an argument, but I'm tired of walking on eggshells around the issue and I don't want to seem clingy. This is my first relationship, by the way, so I don't know much about the dating scene, and I suspect it is his too. I guess I'm scared and kind of insecure about the whole relationship because sometimes I feel like he likes me and other times I'm like, did I force him into this? I know that I didn't, but it feels like it when he's being in his nonchalant mood. This nonchalant attitude bothers me. I have to pull words out of him, and that's difficult for me because I'm an introvert too. He could go days without talking to me without a plausible explanation and then expect to just go back to the way we were. I don't know what to do because I like him and he likes me too from what I've seen. Sometimes I feel like I like him more than I should. Is that even a thing? Please help.
It's your first relationship. Don't take it too serious.
So I'm gonna be blunt, EC. I decided that here and now, because what's the point of sugarcoating it? Red flag, he doesn't have time to talk. Well, he will go days without talking to you without any plausible explanation as to where he went. Red flag. 2, he always dismisses her whenever she brings up that they have communication problems. That's another red flag to me. 3, there is, and also to answer your question you had asked at the end, is there a such thing as like liking somebody more than them liking you? Yes. And that's kind of my 3. I think that you're kind of in that place right now. Because my thing ultimately is, and what I've learned through being with you, if somebody wants you and somebody likes you, you won't question, do they want me or do they like me? Their intentions and actions scream it daily. You know what I mean? I feel like us girls a lot of times try to like
read between
make
the
it
lines.
work. Yeah, read between the lines. A guy who really is intentional with you and wants you, make it clear. He will not leave any space, gap, opportunity for you to think that he doesn't and potentially like let another candidate in. He will be so intentional and clear with you. So I think that that's something a lot of us girls really need to get instilled in our minds. Like, it's not as puzzly as we think. Like, it's not like, oh, maybe this and then maybe that.
Or maybe I can grow on him. Like,
no. If he wants you, he will show you
He'll make it abundantly clear.
You know, otherwise you're gonna kind of just go through that game. And that's not to say he doesn't care about you at all, but you might not be the type of priority for him the way he is for you. And then you gotta ask yourself, is that fair?
And it's your first relationship.
And that too.
You have nothing to compare it to.
That's facts. So let me tell you, based off my prior experience, if a guy wants you, he will make it clear.
Make it clear.
Okay, and that's not like to say like you're gonna get the ring, but just like even from when we first started dating year 1, yes, we had our ups and downs, but I never had to question like your loyalty or if you cared about me, liked me, loved me. Those were solid things and affirmations that I always had. I think that that's so important. I think a lot of girls are looking for validation and affirmation from their significant others, and words aren't enough. It's the actions that come with it. So like when we even year 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, would you have ever gone days without talking to me?
You wouldn't have let me.
I wouldn't. Yeah, it probably would have been over, but regardless,
I wouldn't have
would
did
you
it,
have
though.
done exactly? Like,
even when we weren't dating, I spent like an entire Christmas break texting and FaceTiming you daily.
Because you wanted me.
Yeah.
Your intentions was clear. So that's ultimately my answer. Like, actions speak louder than words.
If this was a love him or leave him, I would leave him.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that because it's your first relationship. I know you want it to work.
Maybe saving her some heartbreak though.
Yeah,
Who is he talking to during
me-
these days that he's not talking to her?
Yeah,
And no explanation.
It just seems so weird that you guys had great conversation and then now the conversation is just dead. And it's like, if you have to pull conversation out of somebody, you're gonna be doing that for the rest of your relationship. Like, don't force that. Don't force it, man.
That and like the fact that he's not even trying to communicate deeper. So you're already not talking to me for days. And then when I try to talk to you on a deeper level to discuss how we can make our communication better and stuff, now you don't want anything to do with it. Like these are red flags, boo. She's not ready to be the man or the boy, I don't know how old you guys are, that you need and want him to be.
Me and my boyfriend have been together 3, almost 4 years soon. I've always known that his relationship with his mother has always been close. However, recently, about 5 months now, I've been realizing that he might be an overbearing mommy's boy. I've brought this to his attention and he seems to want to improve and understand my discomfort. However, this has not been improved in a way that is satisfactory to me. This has proven to be the only problem in our relationship as of now. We're both 20. Do you think being a quote-unquote mommy's boy at the age of 20 is a deal breaker? Or is this something that would fade as he gets older?
I think you're in a great position compared to the previous girl and a lot of girls out here, to be honest. If mommy is what you have to worry about, and his love for her, a connection that he has for her is the worst of your problems right now, you're sitting pretty, sis.
Yeah.
I do think that you said you guys are 20. Over time, obviously, like, you guys are in that phase of becoming full-blown adults. So he's gonna move out of mommy's house, hopefully. I don't know if he's that type of mommy's boy that's trying to like stay. Now that's different. If you're dealing with that, then that's different.
If it's extremely extreme, then I'm like, all right. Yeah. But I mean, if it's not to your satisfaction, obviously these things take time. You can't just ask somebody to go from being a mama's boy to like
she raised
forget my mama. Like
right.
Every boy normally clings to their mom pretty hard. Like I love my mom. I'm gonna ride for my mom.
Mm-hmm. I would call you a mommy's boy, but you're not like.
I'm not like overbearing with it. Like when I see her, I'm a bugaboo about it. I hug her, I give her lots of hugs, and I like kicking it with her. But like, if that's the only problem on your list, you got it pretty good. I'm not gonna flex.
And she had mentioned like that he tries. What she said something specifically. I brought this to his attention. He seems to want to improve and understand my discomfort. So that's a big sign too, though, that you're dealing with someone who at least is willing to try to satisfy this problem of yours, right? Like he's willing to hear you out, because another reaction could have been like, I don't want to hear anything you have to say. She raised me, so it's gonna be my mom over you. And, like he's not giving you that. So I definitely think with time, as time progresses, you guys get older, and especially if this is gonna be a longevity relationship, obviously
you got a winner on your hands.
Yeah, like you guys are gonna end up creating your own home and stuff. But I always actually count it as a brownie point when a guy has a good relationship with his mom.
Mother.
I count it a red flag when he doesn't.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna disrespect the woman who carried you for 9 to 10 months and birthed you and raised you, we got a problem. Because what does that mean for me? So I would definitely say continue the conversation.
You're only 20.
You're only 20 though.
You're only 20.
Yeah, like things will get better with time. A guy who wants to be with me is still legally married to his wife, even though they're completely separated. According to him, she's dragging her feet every time he asks for a divorce, even though she moved out of their apartment and moved out of town. He's a good catch, but I can't be in a relationship with somebody's husband. Please help! Exclamation point. So dare I say you kind of already are. You might not want to call it a relationship, but it must be some type of entanglement if this is even like something you're submitting, which I kind of think is already a problem, just because one, somebody who's in the middle of a divorce or separation and stuff like that, I personally don't think they should be hopping right into another relationship anyway. That's a little suspect to me. It's
that
like marriage is like
emotional instability.
Yeah, so you don't want to be that rebound or whatever anyway. I don't really know what y'all currently have going on, but also I also beg the question, have you been to their apartment? Do you know for a fact she's moved out? Because there's some married men that like to play that role of like, yeah, me and my wife aren't together anymore. I don't see her like that. Dude that went viral recently. They gave that relationship advice, yes.
Oh my God.
Had other women in his home telling them that him and his wife weren't together and stuff. So I'm just saying, be very cautious with that. Like I don't believe in dealing with any married men whatsoever, whether you're separated or whatever. If you're not divorced, then your hands off to me. That's just how I feel. And I think that's the best way to protect your heart too as a woman.
And I also dare to say,
what?
In divorces, yes, one party can drag their feet, but if that's the case, there's ways to expedite that. If it's really over, there's ways to expedite that. He's kind of dragging his feet too. There's something.
I mean, it's a marriage.
I need rings off. I need to make sure, like, I need everybody to come clean, divorce, all that before I would even step foot into something. Like, if you say, like, you're married but you're separated, I'm not stepping nowhere near.
No.
Nowhere near. Because let him show up while we on a date or something. Now he mad. What? I can do nothing.
No.
I can do nothing.
And you don't. That's just drama. Like you're literally signing up before they even sign the divorce papers to be in some drama that has nothing to do with you. So
Get out.
Was your thing like? Please help. Yeah, that's the help.
That's the
Get
help.
out.
Run.
Yeah. That's not it.
Therapy Thursday. First of all, I've been watching y'all relationship bloom for years now. Good shot.
Thank you.
You've seen the growth. You know what it is. I love y'all and I'm so happy and encouraged to see black love unfold before my eyes. Good shot. With that being said, I need to know if I need to move on. I've been talking to this guy since the holidays last year. I live in Tennessee. He lives in New York. Since the moment we've met, I felt like he was the one. We are both very career-driven, spiritual, proactive with our health. He's brilliant, hilarious, and confident. Traits that you don't usually see in a man in his mid-20s. I have done a lot of physical, spiritual, and emotional growth on myself the past few years in hopes of finding a man that is physically, mentally, and spiritually on my level. At first, he would text me all the time, flirt with me a whole bunch, and insert me into his future. Now he barely texts or calls. He has a lot of family stuff going on, along with working 12-hour shifts and doing research for his PhD.
Oh, he's working.
He's working.
Okay.
I'm a very patient person, and a little bit too caring. And I feel like I've gotten so many signs. He's the man that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. However, I don't want to wait around on a dude that is never going to fully reciprocate and care. Never going to fully reciprocate the care and energy that I put in towards building a relationship. Should I wait or should I leave? Help.
And did she say they're in a relationship, by the way?
Yeah, she said she's been talking to the dude since last holiday last year.
But they're not exclusive. Like that's not her boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. You want to start?
Sounds like he's checking boxes. Good shot. So you found a good man for the most part. You found a good man for the most part. And it just so happens you caught him at probably one of the busiest times of his life because he's trying to get his life set up.
Yeah.
If you haven't started dating and you're just talking, just keep talking. Like just feel it out.
Women commit
Yeah.
to the talking state. Like women just tend to overcommit before receiving anything in return, like a commitment in return.
So I mean, like if you're talking and you guys are having a good conversation and stuff like that, go ahead and just keep that going. Just understand that you guys are still in the talking phase. Don't hold him to anything. Don't expect, like we just did a video, don't expect anything without clarification from the other party first. So don't assume that you guys are in a relationship. Don't assume that he like all that stuff. Okay, just take it day by day. Feel it out. He's a good man for the most part, and if he seems to fall off the map, then he seems to fall off the map. It wasn't meant to be. Don't get your heart too invested into it until you see that his heart's fully invested into it, kind of thing.
I was also gonna say, and this is kind of probably a rough time to bring it up considering everything that's going on in his life, but if you really need clarification, nothing's wrong with just asking. Where are we at? What is this to you? Like, tell him how you feel or where you're at. Like, maybe, like, so that you can figure out, are you reading too deep? Are you in it too deep?
Yeah.
Like, just getting that honesty and that clarification of both y'all being on the same page, it might hurt your feelings or it might make you happy, but it's something that you need to know, otherwise this gray area is gonna continue.
Yeah. All in all, given all the facts of the situation, this is probably one of the very few times that I'm like, this man just might be busy.
Benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt. Cause like it's one thing to say like he works 9 to 5, but that's all he does. But you said he's working on
12 hours.
12-hour shift.
PhD. And a sick family member.
And family
Something
issues
family.
going on. That's a full plate. That's a really full
And y'all
plate.
are in different states too.
Yeah, that's a yeah, I would try and give him the benefit of the doubt. But again, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, we can talk, continue to have good conversation. But if there's no like relationship tie, I don't feel like you're obligated to him because again, he probably doesn't necessarily feel entirely obligated to you right now.
So that is a good question though. Is she dating? Are you dating other people? Because you probably should. Like,
or just talk to other people too. Like, you
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Talking,
you can have multiple conversations. When you're in a talking stage with people, there's no rules or regulations, which is why I always preach, get some clarification first.
Exactly. The clarification is what she needs.
Yeah.
And then you'll know where to go from there. I'm 23 years of age and my boyfriend is 26. We have been broken up for 5 months and have been together for 6 years. We decided to end things because he doesn't believe in marriage and isn't interested in having any kids. But recently, he has been trying to rekindle the relationship, but still doesn't want either of the things I mentioned at the top. But I'm hoping he will change his mind. Do you think I should get involved again?
No.
That's an absolute no.
That's
sis.
that's a hell no.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly.
Because here's the thing. Do you want to fight about this?
Right.
Later? Do you want to force him to marry you and then force him to have kids?
Right.
He could potentially hit you with, you forced me into all this later down the road. Mm-hmm. You want somebody that just wants you. Mm-hmm. And that's like, you don't have to ask them. You don't have to pry for them. You don't have to beg for them. You should never have to beg for your significant other. Y'all should just be in agreement.
Yeah.
Y'all should, like, of one sound body, of one sound mind, y'all should be moving as a unit.
I agree.
There should be not on big topics like kids and marriage.
Yeah, that's big.
Those are 2 big ass milestones.
Yeah.
Excuse my French, I'm cursing a lot, but these are big milestones.
Yeah.
If I had to convince you about marriage and kids, I don't want any piece of it. Mm-hmm. I'm not even gonna cap.
And
I don't want no piece of it.
And that's why I think that it's important for you to have a conversation with yourself of like, are these things you're set on? Like, are you okay with never being a wife and never having kids? It sounds like no, that's why you brought the conversation to us in the first place. So that's kind of your answer. Like, leave it where it's at. Y'all already are almost half a year apart. Like, and it takes a while. Like, y'all are together for 6 years. That's gonna take a while to like break those soul ties or whatever you want to call them.
And look, check this out. Or if he's trying to rekindle the relationship, let him come to you and say, hey, I'm ready for marriage. Mm-hmm. I'm ready for kids. Mm-hmm. Don't plant the seed in his ear. Mm-hmm. Don't force it on him. But he's got to come to you with, I'm ready for
I think that she should set the tone though. Because setting it for him or waiting for him to, like, the ball is not in his court, the ball is in your court. It's clear that he would want you back, but where you're at is like, no, I want the family and I want the wife title and stuff like that, which you have the right to feel like. So I feel like if you are gonna have this conversation or whatever, you go into it being like, well, this is where I still stand. This is how I feel. And if you don't, then I don't waste my time. Like, we just need to go our separate ways because that's not something you're willing to waver on.
And you also need to make sure that, like, when you say that, don't say this is what I want. What are you gonna do? Because that kind of leaves him with an ultimatum. Mm-hmm. It's basically like, look, if that's not you, just hold true to it. Because I don't want to have this beef and I don't want to feel like I forced you into anything. It's only if you truly want it. Mm-hmm. Don't come to me.
I stand.
Don't come to me because you're just trying to please me and get back in good grace with me. Do it because you actually want marriage and kids.
6 years is a long time.
It's a long time. It's a long time.
No more time to waste, to be honest.
Yeah. Recently, I reconnected with a guy I used to talk to 2 years ago. At the time, we stopped speaking because we both needed to mature. Life brought us back together and things have been great. We've been quote unquote friends with the understanding that we both care for each other. We are truly getting to know who we have matured to be during these 2 years, and we've kept the physical aspect out of it to truly focus on getting to know each other. I can honestly see him as someone I want to experience life with and have a family with. Problem is, he doesn't want children. I know I'm going to have kids. We haven't started dating yet, and I'm already thinking of this fact and the fact that it would potentially break us up. Am I overthinking, or should I take it one step at a time?
What is with these men and these no kids and whoa?
You know what's weird? We can take my sister for example.
Okay.
She said up until she dang near halfway through college, like, I don't want no kids. Popped out both.
Right. But like, do you think she was really set on that or just talking though? And I think that it's almost a little bit different too for a female saying it versus a male saying it.
Yeah, because they gotta carry the kid. Yeah, that's true.
I think that is yet another conversation. And you're lucky because it's before the title and stuff enters.
Yeah.
I think before, if you guys are in that phase, you're about to potentially make it official and stuff like that, that conversation has to be had before anything is made official.
And you also need to consider, like, where are you at in your timeline of life? Are you late 20s? Are you mid 20s? Are you young? Like, because sometimes if you're on the younger side of things, boys can be immature and just say some dumb stuff.
You think so? Something like kids is so serious.
It is serious.
You don't want any.
But there's times when people be like, yo, I don't want no kids. And then they grow up and realize, like, yo, I want my legacy to live on.
But is it worth wasting your years waiting for someone to make that decision?
That's what I was gonna say. Are you willing to sacrifice time for something that could potentially
not happen?
But
she says she's having them. That sounds like something she's set.
No, she's set.
Which is good. You have that set. So I think just, in the conversation, maybe have him re-clarify it. And it goes back to the previous persons that we just answered. Just about like, if that is you and that's how you feel, then that is cool. But this is me. This is how I feel. This is what I want for myself. So
you can't compromise You can't compromise on big values.
Yeah.
Kids, family, marriage, big ones, finances,
lifestyle.
What you can't compromise on these things because those are like it's like your moral core.
Your compass.
Yeah, it's your compass. Like if you're thinking about kids and he's not, that's a huge argument. Your compasses are pointing two different directions. Yeah. You gotta. Whew.
My boyfriend and I have been dating almost a year now, and we plan on moving in together soon. However, he suggested that we move into his room in his mom's basement until we graduate college. I'm a junior in undergrad, and he starts grad school this fall, so we can save up to eventually buy a house. I don't have a problem with it, and his family and I are super close, and his mom is even excited about us moving into the basement. But with us being so new in our relationship, do y'all think this would be a wise decision? Thank you and love y'all so much. Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
I know.
And it's honestly going to sound hypocritical because...
Yeah, people are going to hear our story and think that could potentially be the route. Let me give you some background context.
Yeah.
One,
it's last resort.
We were together 4 years prior to that. Two, I think even before that, we were having marriage talks. So not only were we together 4 years and we had marriage talks, I was homeless. It's like I almost didn't have a choice. It was either separate and we go to like totally different states, or I continue to live in my car, and that would just be weird. I don't think it's a good idea, to be honest. You guys are a year in. That's extremely fresh. I know a year seems like a long time, but dog, it's fresh. And then to be saying move in
his mama's house.
In his mother. Here's my thing. If it doesn't work out, it's going to be extremely hard to get out of that situation. You're living together. There's now family ties that are super strong.
Okay, what also kind of throws me, I'm not gonna lie, is the whole buying a house. Like, you're willing to make some serious commitments to a guy without any commitment made to you. And you're saying y'all will be living with his mom for a while to save up for a home?
Yeah.
Like a house. Like,
yeah.
That's some next level adulting.
That is next level adulting.
Without like taking, and I don't want to say like it's improper not to like get married and move in together and stuff like that. It's not even that. It's just more so like,
it seems too soon. No, it really just like point blank, cut dry. It seems way too soon. I lived with her when I was homeless and I was down and out. The second I got back on my feet, we separated. I went to the apartment, she stayed at her mom's house, and then she stuck to it. She said, I am not moving in with you until there's a ring on my finger. We will not live together like that.
Paying bills together.
Nothing like that, until I see a commitment that says that like, okay, it's worth going in on investments together, like an apartment or something of that nature. So no, I don't feel like that's very smart.
And I was gonna say too, something that really held me to that mentality that I had with you was a conversation I had with my cousins years prior about, and one of them said something to me that really stuck out, just about like, why would they buy the cow if they already got the milk type energy? So if you're already gonna be doing wifely duties and wifely things for him, why would he have this urgency to wife you? That's not to say he'll never propose or anything like that, but it's also just to say like, look at what you're bringing to the table moving in with him. Cleaning, washing, splitting bills together, just like real long-term, it's marriage stuff.
It's real
without
marriage stuff.
Having marriage in the foreseeable future as of right now. Like, just be very cautious of that. I don't think that you should personally. It's your life to live at the end of the day, but it doesn't sound like something that would be smart to do, especially in such a short like relationship. Like how many things have we just talked about? People been together 4 years, 6 years, and breaking up. So like, don't think that just because y'all been together for a year that counts as like longevity. And
y'all are technically still in the honeymoon cupcake phase.
Definitely. A house and that type of commitment and moving in with his mom, I don't think that's it for you. All right, last one, y'all. First, I want to say I love you guys and your black love. Thank you, love you too.
Shot.
Me and my boyfriend have been together for about 5 years, and we've been through similar relationship problems as year 3 and 4, Josh and Isi. We've been through a lot. I won't go into much detail, but he got really sick, in parentheses cancer, and his mom kicked him out. He came to stay with my family because they love him, and I've started to have this back and forth with him about his mother. She doesn't like me at all, and she says I'm controlling him because I wanted better for him, such as insurance, savings account, etc. And she's always resented me behind my back. It's escalated now to her calling me and harassing me and even calling my mother and trying to yell at her. His mom has her own problems, and when I try to talk to him about the situation, he brushes me off. Because of course it's his mom. But I don't know how to explain that I'm tired of being a second thought to his mother. But I also feel inconsiderate. Please help. That's a sticky, messy situation.
That is so sticky, messy, and especially because y'all been in it for so long.
Half a decade. And I was gonna say too, though, just to be clear, you're not wrong for how you feel. Your feelings are super valid, more than valid. Like your mama calling my phone going nuts and then gonna call my mother, now we really have a problem. And you don't want to hear how it makes me feel. Not even about like attacking how we're gonna fix this. You don't even want to let me express how it's making me feel. That's a problem.
But here's my thing.
What?
Gosh, I'm about to start preaching.
What?
Your mama kicked you out.
Right.
I hope not when you had cancer. But your mama kicked you out, you've been sick, and she was the one to take care of you. That would be cause for me to cling more to you than to my mother at that point, because it almost feels like a betrayal. And I don't want to come at nobody's mama. It's nothing like that. I don't want to put nobody against their mama.
It's just a loyalty thing.
It's just kind of like a dang, who was there when everything was going wrong? You're doing what you would supposed to be do with someone you see long term. You know, trying to get the best out of them. She wanted that out of me, and guess what? She got it, and we're great. Like, we're great. Okay. Now, if you want to get biblical, the Bible does say the man leaves his mother and father and clings to his wife. I don't want to get too biblical because I know people that whole topic goes crazy. But still, nevertheless, it seems like the writers are trying to look out.
At this point, especially because I'm gonna let you know how Isi would operate with this. 5 years in, it's not a matter of you brushing me off because you don't want to talk about it. I'm demanding a conversation. Like, it's just a demand at this point. You're gonna hear me. Hear me now, hear me clear.
Yeah.
No, that's one of those things.
Yeah. 5 years in, we were having real blunt.
Yeah, we're past all the fluff stuff and trying to walk on eggshells. This is a serious issue.
If we're talking long-term life, your mother's not finna call and disrespect me.
Or my mother.
Or my mother.
That's something that needs to be deaded. So at this point, it's kind of like, I think you gotta be, I don't think that it's inconsiderate for you to, and this is the thing too, as I'm saying that sentence out loud, I'm like, you're putting your own feelings aside after riding for this dude for him and his mother's benefit, or like to spare their feelings and stuff. But it's also like, especially as black women, bruh, we put our feelings on the back burner so much for other people's benefit or for other people's sanity and stuff like that. But it's like, you gotta remember your own. You gotta check your own sanity, your own peace of mind and stuff. So
you have a responsibility
to choose you in this situation. And choosing you means demanding a conversation. It's no more like brushing it off and I don't want to talk about it. Nah, you came, I took care of you. You came to live with me and my family after she tossed you out to the wayside. The least you could do is hear me.
I hate ultimatums, but at that point,
that's one of those.
That's one of those points where it's like, I'm not finna tolerate this kind of disrespect from me or my family. This is not going to continue. You need to kind of man up and put your mama in her place. You're my mother, but that is too far. That's too far. Like if my mama, I love her to death, but if she was calling you, disrespecting you, and calling your mother and disrespecting her, me and my mama gonna have to have a talk.
Yeah, simple.
Plain and simple. That is unacceptable.
And vice versa.
If you love me, you will respect my relationship. Period.
But that's what that is.
And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yeah, honestly.
But that is all we have for you guys. The sun is going down. We're about to lose all this light in this room.
We should show them the sunset though. You don't think so? Let's bless them.
Okay, I'll bless her one time and show you the sunset.
Oh my God.
It is actually absolutely gorgeous outside. We were filming at sunset. You know what I'm saying? It's actually beautiful.
It's not even really giving it justice. Like,
it's not.
The sunset is unreal.
It is unreal. This is a little blessing at the end of the video. You know what I'm saying?
Just to lighten things up.
Just to lighten things up, because I know we went hard in that last little segment. But that is all we have for you guys today. Shout out to y'all for staying to the end. You get a little blessing because you made it all the way back here. I think that's all we have. Stay tuned. We got more lit content coming for you guys in the future. But if you don't already know, I'm Hydrated Hero. She's Isimeme Edeko. And together, we are Josh and Isi. Now, you can follow one of us. You can follow two of us. You can follow all three of us. You might as well follow all three of us because we are happy, healthy, and hydrated on all three. But other than that, y'all, until we meet again, peace, love, and grease. And we out. Hey, 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 subscribe. Hey, 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 new video.